Angola is currently China's single largest oil supplier in Africa, with about 50% of its oil from Africa is from Angola. China has been referred to as the, quote, all-weather friend because the nature of their engagement is more hands-on than most Western countries. African governments are more apt to enter into deals with the Chinese government because they provide low-interest or no-interest loans. They don't put conditionalities on their loans. They provide debt forgiveness, military support, technical expertise, and engage in a wide range of infrastructural projects. The current phase of Sino-Angolan relations began in 1983, and Prime Minister Wen Jiabao's 2006 visit to Angola, he upped the credit line to Angola to around $5 billion. So with these credit lines, there's been a lot of criticism, not only from the West, but from activists and scholars in Africa, because there's a lack of transparency when these bilateral agreements are signed. So a lot of times, scholars and activists and even people within the governments of recipient countries don't know what's being signed and don't know the nature of the engagement, which can be very dangerous. Currently, Angola's crude oil production stands at 923,000 barrels per day. The production is expected to reach 2 million barrels per day this year, and that's equal to Nigeria's present capacity. So with all these developments, we've seen that Angola has pursued an aggressive foreign policy over the past 2 years, considering the lines of credit. They're showing signs that its leaders can be proactive and not a reactant to international pressures. Angola has backed out of negotiations with the IMF. They've paid off debts to the Paris Club and Portuguese construction companies, and they've halted negotiations with China's oil company, Sinopec. And I just want to speak briefly about dynamics of Angola even asserting itself with China. And the Angolan leaders didn't like the nature of the agreement. For an oil refinery that was going to be built in Libido, Angola was concerned that the Chinese had an unfair advantage in that China would prevent Angola from selling oil to the rest of Southern Africa. I can't say definitively the status of those talks, but I hear they've resumed. I'm not going to talk about China's development aid because we've talked about that, but I